Well, it's all very disturbing. The poor dog took the brunt of it because he was under the window in his bed and got glass all over him. And of course, two people were inside there not knowing what on earth's going on when somebody put you know,
Well, what happened? Because I heard it was someone with a crowbar.
the crowbar, yes. He
So they
smashed
were
the window
right
with the
there.
crowbar.
They were physically right there. Jesus.
Yes, he climbed over the balustrade, into the front door, put a notice up, and then smashed the
Okay.
window with a crowbar.
What did that notice say, or what was the notice in relation to?
Welcome to the real world.
Oh, you're kidding. Okay. Did you get footage? Did anyone know who this guy is?
Yeah, we had footage, we had surveillance, and a neighbour in the street saw him. So we had a good idea who, if we could find the person, what that person looked like. Yes, and so in the end, they put a lot of work into it, and then he claims to have given himself up, but he knew the game was up.
Okay. Do we know who he is? What do we know about him?
Well, every case like this here, we're now subjected to a great thing called the British law: innocent until proven guilty.
All right. But the dog's all right, and everyone else is okay.
Well, when you say it's all right, no, they're not. They're deeply disturbed by it all, and I'm mad to beat the band.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a message for these people. You gutless, spineless prick. If I'd have been there, then something else would have happened. That's the way it is.
Yeah, and this comes just a day after you'd launched into Bomber Bradbury for somehow thought it was okay to suggest that hospitality workers should spit in the food of ACT, National and New Zealand First MPs, and you quite rightly called that out. And when you
Yeah.
have been doxxed by a woman, by an actress, a New Zealand actress, who appears yesterday at a Green Party press conference.
She gave out the address. She's there with the phone outside, celebrating her protest, breaking all the noise abatement laws, breaking all the laws of this country. And there she was next to Chloe Swarbrick yesterday at a press conference, while she went on for 45 minutes with an incoherent ramble about nothing.
That woman is also in an ad that One New Zealand runs.
Well, this is extraordinary. You see, these are people who benefit from the taxpayers' money. And they've got all this trouble to make sure they got the defence of the law, which we're proud to have, and we're a great democracy. And they abuse it in the extreme and think they're right, because if they've got a view that's different to yours, they're just too bad. They're right, and we have to live with the consequences. And they need to be given a message. We're not having any more of your behaviour in this country.
Martin Bradbury, Bomber Bradbury. Okay, not many people read his stuff. He's in a strange ecosystem with that guy, Pat Brittenden. Do you think something needs to be done when someone like Martin Bradbury, who has Chris Hipkins on as a guest regularly, is calling for people to spit on food? Do you think we need to do something about that and look at the law in relation to that?
Well, I did something about it. I put out a presser highlighting the disgusting nature of this sort of political commentary. It's a massive breach of the law.
Yeah.
Everybody out there knows that. Then he tries to say when he got found out that he was only joking. No, he wasn't. This overweight retard needs to be put in his place. And that's what I intend to do.
How?
Well, I'm going to make sure that everybody knows who he is and what he is.
There are things that aren't on my bingo cards, but pricks and retards coming out of the mouth of Winston Peters wasn't necessarily on it. And I know Winston Peters, he's renowned for not holding back on occasion when describing certain individuals. I like to fashion myself after similar displays on occasion. But yeah, I mean, he's damn right. The guy that smashed his window with a crowbar, prick. Martin Bradbury, retard. Both accurate descriptions, so you can't fault him, you can't criticize him for it. If anything, you should be repeating the exact same descriptions of these individuals. But in case you weren't up to date, what Winston Peters is alluding to or discussing there is that yesterday his residence was broken into, technically, not necessarily, they didn't necessarily go into it, but it was targeted. They put a note on the door saying, "Welcome to the real world," and smashed his window open with a crowbar, shattering glass all over his dog. And I believe his partner and a guest of theirs was at the property, but Winston himself wasn't. This is classic left-wing violence. This is what the left does. They like to pretend that they aren't the sorts of people who will go to these lengths, but they are. They are more so than anyone else likely to resort in violence to get their point across. The modern left are revolutionaries in every sense of the word. They don't necessarily always act like it. They are quite timid compared to, let's say, the revolutionaries of the earliest 20th century, but they are revolutionaries nonetheless. The end goal is revolution against the bourgeois, and the bourgeois in this case is the established Western civilized order. Established Western civilization is the bourgeois. The bourgeois needs to be tackled, it needs to be toppled, and they will stop at nothing. It will continue to get worse. Charlie Kirk assassinated by the left for this exact reason. Winston Peters having his residents targeted for this exact reason. Why? Because he did not push a particular policy of the left. He did not push the intersectionality nonsense, which I'll get into tomorrow, which is why the left is supporting Palestine. And he briefly mentions the 45-minute load of nonsense that Chloe Swarbrick spews, which we'll look at a snippet of tomorrow, and that's a prime example of everything I'm talking about. Chloe Swarbrick is a radical. Everyone knows it. The Green Party is radical. Everyone knows it. Te Pāti Māori, Toitu Te Tiriti, they're radical. Everyone knows it. The left in the Western world is radical. It is by design. That is what the left are. They are radicals in every sense of the word. They are just building and building. The pressure is growing, and unless we push back, they will win.